Today on the Blazer Cool Show, Brad and I are in person. We're hanging out together.
I'm playing 2K.
He's playing My Player 2K.
My team.
He's playing 2K. 2K My Team. And we just recorded. And what we did was read all of your guys' questions from the last video. So we're going to go through all of those. You guys who commented on the last video are all going to get your questions read. They were amazing questions. We had a super fun time doing it. So without further ado, let's get into your guys' questions and talk about the Blazers.
Sure they just want to watch me play 2K?
I think they want to watch you play 2K, actually. Brad, we're in person.
We're in person, which I love. I think it's hilarious.
It's a new angle for the viewers.
I wonder if can I ask you guys, is this intimidating to see too? Because Jethro's in. Do they know you live in LA?
I think they know.
At this point, they must.
So I'm up here for the holidays because it's Christmas.
It's Christmas. We got Christmas right here. Yes, it's Christmas. We got this right here. Oh, can I retell my Drew Holiday joke?
Yeah.
So I had a joke I wrote. I'm going to tell them this. This is our second time recording this intro. And I had a joke.
And good on the fly joke.
Yes, exactly. Hey, Jethro.
Hey, Brad.
What's a Blazers fan? How can I say this sentence? What's a Blazer fan's favorite holiday?
Who?
That's good.
What?
Drew.
Oh,
right? Pretty good.
What's a Rockets fan's favorite holiday?
I don't know. What?
Aaron,
of course. I think they're not siblings, right?
I think they are.
They are siblings?
Yeah, there's a third one.
There's a third one who's...
He was on the Pacers.
Yeah.
I don't know if he made it.
I didn't know if Aaron was a third one.
Did you know there's 3 Ball brothers?
Yeah. I know the rapper. Who are the other 2?
Yeah, you know what? I was swerving echo.
Yeah. This is cool because I've started to see Jethro, we've been buds now since you were 14.
Yeah.
Since you were 14, I'm 2 years older. See, I was his. Do the fans know the adoring fans that I was his captain in 2 different sports? So it's why if you watch this and you're like, wow, Jethro really looks up to Brad. Like clearly Brad is someone who's like, it's like an idol to him.
Like a father figure.
It's like a father figure. It's because I was his captain for basketball and golf in high school. While I was a senior and he was a puny little sophomore. I said, Jethro, you're not bad.
You're not bad.
10 years from now, we're going to be doing a podcast, so just stay cool.
10 years. We're old.
I'm 28, he's 26.
We should have told them we're 24 and 22.
I know, I think that's going to age us out. Yeah. You're like, ugh.
But it's good to be in person because the banter gets a little bit more real, as you can tell. The experiences are more fun because we just went to the past 2 home games. We went to the Pistons game and the Magic game together, and boy, let me tell you, they were both huge comebacks. Mm-hmm. They were both exciting. The Pistons game last night was really full because of the 1999-2000 team coming back. I think a lot of people came for that game, so it was especially full for a game against a random Eastern Conference team on Christmas week on a Monday. And it was really electric when we made the comeback. But last night and tonight, I don't think I truly felt once like that comeback was actually going to turn into a win.
Well, that's what was so weird about it. See, to give tonight's comeback like a little more credit, it did feel more like, oh, we're doing this because of good basketball.
Yeah.
Last night's game, we made this huge comeback because of like a series of hilarious, unfortunate events for the Pistons.
Yeah, including Cade Cunningham fouling out, a couple technicals, us hitting threes, which is honestly a series of unfortunate events for most opposing teams.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 more games in the homestand. I'm going to try to get all of them. Brad might also be at all of them. We'll try to keep solving the puzzle for everyone's behalf. But let's move on from the Blazers reality and talk a bit more about the Blazers, from what you guys are seeing, less from what we're seeing, because we had a ton of questions on the last video, which thank you to everyone who asked one.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We didn't need to roll out another, ask for questions. We got enough for this video from all of you guys on the last one. So if you did watch the last video, comment a question, you will get you will have yours answered right here, right now. So let's.
Which really, thanks for asking, because thanks for asking these questions. Because in my mind, I don't know if I have deep rooted insecurities that I'm not aware of. But when we decided, when Jethro was like, "Oh, we should do a question video," I was like, "No one's gonna want to ask us questions."
We'll field questions and then we get one where do you guys live?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but instead we got I'm seeing them for the first time. Jethro compiled them so I could be surprised, but we got a lot.
Yeah, we got a lot of great ones too. So we're excited to answer. All right, Brad, you'll kind of go on the producer hand this time. You read the questions.
It's a lot of pressure.
Because it's your house we're at, so you're the host.
My Christmas tree.
You're the producer now.
My mic. Which, by the way, shout out to this. I don't know if this looks awkward for you guys. I think it's the funniest thing ever. We have to sit because we only have one mic right now because Jethro couldn't bring his mic from LA. So we're just kind of standing in the middle of our Christmas tree with this one mic right here.
We're making do. I hope you guys appreciate we're putting in effort, but we're not great producers yet. But maybe one day we'll have a sick studio.
Yes,
it'll be actually in the Blazer Stadium.
That's exactly right. We'll be sitting right in between Danny and Joe. But the first question is from Docu2105. Hey guys, love your pod. Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you for loving us.
Yeah, I'm an Israeli fan who got emotionally attached to the Blazers because of Deni Avdija. You're gonna see that I read to kids a lot at my job. So not just for fun. At my job, because I'm gonna read it like I'm reading a children's book. Same story at the Wizards. Yes. Let me restart this. I'm an Israeli fan who got emotionally attached to the Blazers because of Deni Avdija. Same story at the Wizards. Yes, I've suffered. From your side as OG fans, how does it feel when people join because of a specific player? Does it change the vibe at all? Are you worried it will disappear and the player's gone? It's a good question.
That is a great question.
Because we have a very big international fan base.
Right now, yes.
We've got Hansen, we got Deni, we've got Sidi, we got Tumani, we have Shaedon.
I mean, we've been I think the Spurs kind of own the French fan base, but Batum brought a lot of French fans.
Yeah.
I think that when a ton of fans come on from a specific player, it doesn't even have to be from another country, but I think the Lakers with LeBron kind of had that.
As a LeBron fan, I found it very hard to fight off being somewhat of a Laker fan. It's like a disease that climbs up to me and I got get off.
I think it's always good from a baseline.
Of course, obviously. Getting more fans to the team, especially a small market team, is always awesome.
Yeah. I think it just takes time like this to, what you're doing right now, asking questions, kind of bridging that gap and being open, be like, hey, I am a Deni fan, because we know there's tons of Deni fans. You guys are all vocal, which we love. And being like that and showing hey, acknowledging I am a Deni fan.
Yeah.
But I want to be a Blazer fan. I want Deni and the Blazers to be a partnership that works forever. And realizing that, Deni needs the Blazers to be successful in order to make Deni better.
Of course, yeah.
And the Blazers need Deni to be successful to make the Blazers better. So I think just being open that it's, a partnership and that, I would say maybe in that regard, one thing you don't want to do is be why won't Shaedon give Deni the ball more because Deni is good?
Sure.
It's if Shaedon is coughing up the ball and, forcing passes just to give Deni more shots, is that good for the team? Because what's good for the team is what's ultimately going to be good for Deni.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, winning is better for everyone. So I think just recognizing that the goals of Deni and the team are one.
Yes.
Is important.
But to be fair, because I actually really like this question because it brings back so many memories of past, overseas players. But to be fair, everyone has a favorite player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even I think of Anthony. Right. Last year, because we were talking you're right, if you're the only not problem, the only thing that comes with being a fan, becoming a fan of a team because of one player, is that you're going to be biased to that player.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that happens no matter what.
Yeah.
Because last year, I was under the impression that Anthony Simons was Damian Lillard without getting the opportunity. You know what I mean? And he's proving with the Celtics, which I thought was the perfect opportunity for him.
Just huck threes.
His detractors, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Is it the right word?
Close enough.
Yeah. They were right. I was wrong.
Yeah.
To the point where I found myself, I'll be honest, and I fought against it once I realized, I found myself rooting a little bit against Scoot at times.
Yeah.
Because I liked Ant.
You wanted it to be Anthony.
So you can, if you see any Blazer fans complaining like, oh, you're only a fan because you like this one player. Everyone has a favorite player they're biased against.
Yeah.
And so we welcome every single international fan. I think about when I was a kid, because I went to a French school, je peux parler français. And one of the coolest things ever was I was lucky enough to go to France on exchange trips twice as a kid. And you get there. You're in like Portland is not the biggest city ever.
No,
it's 600,000. I went across the world to Paris, France. That when I met anybody there who heard I was from Portland, the first thing they asked were, "Tu connais Nicolas Batum? Yeah. Tu connais?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I connais. Oui, je connais. Il est le meilleur." Like it's like, "Do you know Batum?" Yeah. It's like somehow. Going overseas to a completely different country and still finding common ground in your favorite thing that is based in something local to you was awesome. Yeah. So having as many Blazer fans as possible around the world, no matter how you approach it, is a positive.
Yeah, and I will say like European fandom is a different level than American fandom for sure. And I always welcome more of that because there's, I think, way more passion in other countries. So any player from any country coming.
No one's more passionate than Blazer fans.
No, yeah, it goes Portland and then every other country.
Yes,
and then every other city in America.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly right.
Does Doc, you have more questions on his
and bigger picture?
Yeah.
Historically, what's the Blazers' DNA in your eyes? And you trust that DNA still holds up with the club possibly being sold? The arrest, that was wild. It was, and all. God, good.
Yeah.
Question.
I think I'll let you go with this one because I think you're the more of the historian.
Here's what's it. I thought Paul Allen's ownership had a very, very obvious approach.
Yeah.
It was one where he was very involved when it came to scouting, when it came to draft picks. It was one where he wanted a personal relationship with the general manager, one where he felt like he was right, should have a lot of say in a lot of things. Because Paul Allen was usually right. Like I want to acknowledge that Paul Allen's the one who was like, trade these picks for LaMarcus Aldridge and Brandon Roy.
Right.
There's endless guys that he liked that he went to general managers like, get this guy. He was also a guy who was willing to spend an obscene amount of money. Every single year, if you look from the entire time he owned this team, top 3 in salary every year, it'd be like Lakers, Boston, Portland. And that was the gift of having an owner like that. So when it comes to ownership, are we going to have an owner that the DNA of the Blazers to me is we're willing to spend the money. We're willing. Yeah. But there's also the question is how does it change the team culturally?
Yeah.
I think that's a really good question. I think that a lot of that always ties into what players you have and who the fans are. And the fans in Portland are always going to be loyal to the team. We saw us go through some tough times. And if the owner is able to put out players that play hard, that are fun, that are likable, the culture of the team is going to stay the same. The DNA we're a basketball city. I don't think that ever changed as long as you put out a team that you can root for.
I think the DNA of the Blazers is, and like you said, Paul Allen kind of built this, is like, as long as you're putting basketball first, you're putting the Blazers first, you're putting the fans first, and not like making money, for example, or like having something flashy, or like, bringing in a player who might just be for clicks and a storyline or something. As long as you're putting Portland first, the Blazers first, the fans first, as long as you're trying those 2-3 things hard, no matter what happens, we will be okay with it, right? We want championships, we want dynasties, we want everything. We've taken everything that we've gotten, every win in the postseason we've gotten, and clung onto it for dear life because we love it so much. So as long as everyone who's involved truly is being transparent and giving it their all, like Paul Allen always was, I think that's the DNA of the Blazers, in my opinion.
And I think the last couple of years is proof of that. Yeah. Because, we've had, I think most Blazer fans would agree we've not had I go back and forth, great ownership under Jody Allen.
It's definitely not been transparent.
Absolutely,
sure.
100%.
It's been very like, what is going on?
And what I see, and this is why I think that the culture of the team lies in the fans, it lies in the city, and not in ownership. Because in the last couple of years, the team has given the fans a lot of opportunities to no longer be that invested. And instead, when you go to games, I mean, I said this, like, how desperate is this crowd to get into this game?
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's nothing this city wants more than a team that's successful. That culture will never change. Yeah. The difference is, are we going to have an owner who gives us a reason to get loud, gives us a reason to cheer? Because we all want to. You feel it every single game you go to.
Yep.
We're looking for Blazer Mania.
Yeah.
It's up to ownership. It's up for the team to give it to us. But our willingness to give that love, to give that appreciation will never change no matter who the owner is. We're just waiting for someone to give us an opportunity.
Well, and we're gonna get a new owner in theory, so I'm all in on. I think I'm all in on Dundon and bringing in a new owner. Hope he works out well. So we'll see what happens with him. I think he's got one more part.
Also, this turns into a real run in the next few seasons, which I think it will. I'm so optimistic about this team. Will it be weird if I fly in for the finals and scream like I've been there since '77? No,
absolutely not.
Come and get as loud as you can. Are you kidding? No, what a good question.
We'll see you at the watch bar out front. We'll see you in the stadium. We'll see
NBA Finals, baby. We'll see you there. I love that.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah.
Mamba 1233. I really like your vibes. Thanks.
We do have good vibes.
I've been working on my vibes for years now. It's good. I'd like to ask a few questions. Do you really think Sharpe can succeed as a second or third option next to Deni and Dame? I love. Can I say something? I love that you included Dame on that.
Yeah.
I love that
we have to start thinking about that pretty soon here. I
saw some comment. I told Jethro and our other friend this tonight at the game. I saw some comment that was like, because I was unsure, like, I expected the Dame was not going to come back and be that great, just because an Achilles injury at 36 is a bummer. But I saw some Reddit comment that was like, I think a lot of people don't realize that Achilles technology has advanced a lot in the last like few years, and that recovery is going to be way better now than ever has been. And that comment alone from just some guy on Reddit who I don't know what his like experiences in medicine. Right. I was like, oh, okay, we're good. We're good. Dame's going to come back. And now I'm like all on board on Dame coming back. Great.
Totally. And I think him taking the full entire season off, I think, I read in my medical expertise that that's a big deal, which is kind of why I think the Celtics are going to, if they bring Tatum back.
Well, Tatum wants to be Kobe so bad.
Yeah.
Not realizing that Kobe came back early and ruined the rest of his career.
But with that Sharpe, in mind, Deni and Dame and Shaedon, I think I have a lot of hesitations about Shaedon. You guys both know that the both of us feel strongly about
But I think you'd say we're more positive right now than we've ever been. Do you agree with that? Maybe not. Or at least I am, I think.
Yes. I will say that the last 5 games, he scored 20 points 6 games in a row, which is awesome. And he's doing it efficiently. I think that there is plenty of room for Shaedon to be the third option, we'll call it, next to Deni and Dame, be a great third option scorer. Because after that, I mean, we don't need... If those 3 are scoring 20 points per game and we have Jeremy Grant, we don't need much more offensive production. We just have to do it in the right way, right? So I think there's room for it. I have faith that he will turn into that because he's starting to get better right now. Maybe if you had asked me 2 weeks ago, I might have had a little bit more of a negative answer. But do I worry that like the 3 of them can coexist? Not really. I think I at least have a lot more things I'm worried about than that is the kind of the best way I can put it.
I think in the last like 5 games, because I mean what I've wanted to see from Shaedon for a while now is just a stretch of good basketball. Because at this point, we said this 5 games ago. It's like, you know what, the kids' gloves are off. Is that the saying is?
The training wheels?
The training wheels are off. Kids.
The little tiny baby gloves are
exactly,
off.
Yeah. Because one of my issues with Shaedon, I was like, and it goes both ways because he's still only 22. But I was kind of getting tired of this, like, patting on him on the back for having a good quarter, a good game, 2 good games. Because it's like, dude, 4th-year players need to put together not 1 good game, not 2, not 5, not 10. Mm-hmm. I want to see at least, like, half a season of really good basketball.
Yeah.
And I don't expect that from a rookie. I don't expect that even from a sophomore year player. I wouldn't even really expect it from a 3rd-year player. But from a 4th-year player, even if you're 22, which is so obscenely young still.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that because, we compare him to some guys. Like, we brought up Emmanuel quickly when we were talking a bit, and we were like, oh, he's kind of like Shaedon. And I think, Quickly's still a young guy. Look up, he's 26.
Yeah.
Shaedon's 22 years old.
Yeah.
Of course, there's still concerns. His shooting, even though it was been better before these last 2 games, was bad tonight, was really bad last night. It's hard to judge what his career is going to be like in next season, even. But, that's the thing with Dame is I assume if Dame is good when he comes back, he has 2 more years where he's good. I think that's best case scenario. Can Shaedon be a third option during that time? I'm more hopeful than ever.
Yeah.
If I had to make a bet, because it used to be, a month ago I thought Shaedon's ceiling is a great 6-man.
Yeah.
Now that's like much going from ceiling. It's like kind of in the middle now.
Yeah.
It's used to be up there. It's not down there. I still think that I don't think that's the floor yet, but it's like right here.
Right.
And which means I could for the first time I'm really seeing like he could be that third option just because of how he's able to get any shot off. He's a great end of the shot clock player, which we really like seeing him be used as. And with Dame and with Deni, I actually think he would be better as a third option than he is as a first, so defenses can't be so overly physical with him from the get-go. So I could see it.
That's the thing is I and we've talked about this, I think he works best as because we saw in the Pistons game he had 8 turnovers when he has to start the offense, and then if it doesn't go well, bail out of a situation. I think when it's Deni and Dame doing those things, I mean, in a way, what I'm trying to say is that Shaedon might be best as the third option.
Yes.
Right? Because first and second one is tough for us to see right now because the efficiency and the handle and the turnovers, and he's not too much of a playmaker, but he's a great finisher. But also third option might be perfect, and I think he can definitely get there. I think just the worry is can him and Dame play good enough defense to keep
that's what I was going to say.
So I think the worry with that is less about Shaedon fitting in and scoring enough points. It's just about probably everything else outside of that.
So I think our answer, do you really think Shaedon can succeed? I think he can.
Yeah.
Do we think he will? I don't know. Do we think he maybe couldn't? I also think that's possible.
Yeah.
Just mostly defensively.
We're leaving a lot of it up in the air. But,
I know.
But the overarching theme is yes.
For the first time, I think it's very possible. For the first time,
yes, it's possible.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
It's also very not possible.
Yeah.
But next question is really good. How do you think the fit between Deni and Dame will look? Because we just talked about Shaedon and Dame. Their styles don't exactly match. They both like having the ball. Deni prefers to play fast, and Dame doesn't as much. Such a good point. I think what a lot of people forget about Dame's years with us, it's one of the reasons why I think fans have wanted a faster paced style, which is funny because we had the number 1 offense at the time in the history of the NBA with Dame. That's true. Is the last season the season when we blew it to the Nuggets?
2020.
Is that 2020?
Yeah. 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
When Dame had 1 million points and 1,000 assists and we lost.
Yeah.
That one in game 4, I think that was. We had the number 1 offense in the history of the league. We're also dead last in pace. And fans were clamoring for a faster paced offense, which I always thought was funny because we have the best offense ever. But it showed that, as great as Dame was, as awesome as he was, sometimes his style of play was a little, it was very Dame central, very Dame heavy. You didn't see much movement, both physically and with the ball. And Denny's kind of been the opposite of that. That's why I think a lot of fans have really loved watching Deni play, because he plays fast paced. He leads the league in passes from drives and potential assists. He's a guy who loves moving the ball almost to a fault. While still playing, an aggressive, fast tempo style. Him and Dame are kind of opposites. Mm-hmm. But, and I think you'll agree with this, I think it's more realistic that Dame does need to play more off ball. Mm-hmm. And a world where we can use Dame as a guy who can, get shot opportunities off of Deni, I think increases the possibility or decreases the possibility of Dame being bad more than anything. Because I think worst case scenario now, you can use Dame as a guy who Deni can kick threes out to.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, you have our best point guard of all time.
And then Deni can take some kickouts and maybe collapse a drive there.
You have a very versatile style of offense.
Yeah. I think, truthfully, one of them is going to have to change. Obviously, the Dame that we saw last, even in Milwaukee, and the Deni we're seeing now, especially the one with everyone injured, having to put the entire team on his back. Those two players can't exist, really, in my mind.
Yeah.
But what I'm hoping happens with Dame is that he comes back and what does this team, everyone say this team needs right now? Shooting, right? Floor spacing,
Ball handler.
and one more ball handler.
Yeah.
And if Dame, rather than, because I think what he's going to lose off his Achilles is that explosive drive to the rim and his scoring at the rim, right? But that's not what we need from him. That's what Deni does. And I think Denny's still got room to grow in terms of like finishing and all that. But if Denny's the one collapsing the paint and kicking to Dame, after 18 months of shooting in a gym and doing nothing but that, could be an absolutely all-time elite catch and shoot 3-point shooter. And he's still Dame. He can break down a defense on a closeout, be a second option off that. So, like, I see it in a way not where, like, one necessarily has to defer to the other, but I think Dame has more of an opportunity right now than maybe Deni does to morph his style in a way that complements Deni, and that's what I hope happens. But if Denny's needs to become a better catch and shoot 3-point shooter because Dame still has it, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, see, I agree with most of what you said. I disagree that one of them will have to change because what I think best case scenario, if Dame is great when he comes back, that just means we are now a team that can play in transition and can play in the half court.
Right.
It makes us such, you know what I mean? Maybe that's too optimistic.
Yeah.
But we play way more half-court offense than I think people think.
Right.
Because, my phone died, huh?
Yeah.
That's okay.
A little less light.
A little less light now. My phone dies almost every episode. I use the flashlight as lighting. We're not working with much here. We're bumming it right here, yeah. But yeah, I think I've never gotten the feeling that Dame doesn't want to play an up-tempo offense. He's just never played an offense that had that be an opportunity.
Right.
But we also saw him play with Giannis, and it didn't work. And I know a lot of Blazer fans like to blame Giannis for that. I personally think more of the blame was on Dame.
Yeah.
It's going to be a controversial take here. And Deni and Giannis do play kind of a similar style. But I think that Dame will... I think Deni is much happier not... dominating the offense as much as Giannis is. So I think I think it makes it that anything's possible.
Yeah. They can definitely work, and I think Dame, with the right buy-in, can definitely fix a ton of our flaws. And if the problem is that Dame is too good still to make that change, then we have prime Dame Lillard back for like pennies on the dollar. So
yeah,
good problem to have.
Deni's a very selfless player. I think that
it'll work.
It will work. No, and I think Dame's a very selfless player too. I think it works either way.
I'm very curious to see how it's going to work.
I am too.
Yeah.
We disagreed a bit there. You felt that contention there? You get to see some real life debate right now. Jethro's mad. No, I'm kidding. If Deni adds a consistent mid-range shot, what do you think his ceiling is in the league? Top 10? That's such a good question. 'Cause let me ask you this. I'm going to steal this guy's question. Do you think that's what's keeping Deni from being an elite player?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say, first of all, top 10 is fucking hard right now.
I think it's possible.
Top 10 is a lot. I mean,
He's 25 right now. He's the 25th best player, and he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
According to The Ringer, he's the 25th best player.
Here's the thing. I think tonight he actually had the mid-range going a little bit. It was one of his better shooting nights from 2 of the month, and he had a couple down the stretch, 2 good like turnaround mid-range shots, and I thought that really helped. Especially, it seems like maybe teams are figuring out not to foul him, and he's having more trouble getting to the line. So I think he's getting better at it. I think the mid-range in general is a dying part of basketball that maybe is going to overcorrect and people are going to need it and come back. Yeah.
But you're right.
That it's something that I don't think a lot of players need, and I think you have to be elite at it for it to be really effective. And do I think Deni can ever be elite at it? I have a tough time seeing that. The second point is that I think just to the top 10 part, I still think with the fact that I just with Deni's finishing at the rim, was his 3-point shooting being decent to okay a lot of the times, and the turnovers still being pretty high. I think top 10 is a bit too far to go. But I think if I guess what I'm trying to say is there's more Deni needs to improve on for me than just getting that mid-range.
For sure.
And if you're seeing Deni and thinking all he needs is a mid-range, I think you need to see that. I think you're being a little too kind to him, to be fair, to be honest.
Yeah, what I'm kind of struggling with right now is not having too much recency bias to Deni, because if we're taking it just on the last 5 games, we'd agree that Denny's been off.
Yeah.
For the most part. Even tonight, which I was really happy to see him have a field goal heavy game, because what we've been bothered by is an over-reliance on trying to get to the rim.
Yeah.
We wanted to see it happen, because he got fouled on a good shot instead of him trying to get a foul instead of a good shot.
Yeah.
That was nice, huh?
Yeah,
It's well worded.
Smooth.
But it was nice to see him have a really good field goal heavy game where he
Yeah.
wasn't over reliant on free throws.
Yeah.
We also got to see him make some of those mid range shots.
Yeah.
And what we did see happen is that he's able to put up a 27-point game. Was it 27 or 25?
25 tonight.
25, 40% shooting, 33% shooting from three, without free throws, which is nice. Because what that does, because I do agree that watching Deni these last 5 games, he needs an in-between game.
Yeah.
From 3 to 2. Is that going to be the difference between him being a top 10 player? It could be if he cleans up everything else, which I think he will, because I think because we've been a little down on Deni the last few games. We still know he's an incredible player, a top 25 player.
Yeah.
Potentially an all-star.
Potentially an all-star. It's getting scary now.
It is getting a little scary in these last few games, but is a mid-range, you think it's separating from being truly elite? It's not the only thing, but it would definitely help.
Let me say that I don't think he's a mid-range away from being top 10, but I do think he does need a mid-range to be top 10.
That's where I feel.
And that might be a bit of a harsh answer, but that's how I truly feel.
Yeah, and we love Deni. We are huge Deni guys. We know that he is our best player. I still think he's not just our best player, but has the highest potential on the team.
Yeah.
He's still only 25. He's putting together an incredible campaign. It's tough because you see those stats of people who put up his numbers have never not been an all-star before.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to be an all-star.
Yeah.
But it's just that there's things that have gotten a little rough over the last few games that have made us think that as great as he is, there's still things he's far from perfect, just missing a mid-range.
Yeah. And look, he really has had to put so much on his back, and his bread and butter is driving in the lane and either finding an open shooter, making a layup, or getting fouled. And when he has to pass to pretty much every time someone who shoots under 30% from 3 every time, it makes it pretty hard to do the things that you're good at.
Exactly.
So maybe this is him kind of going through it, really having to I don't know, and he's having to do so much right now, and it looks off, but he's still putting together good numbers, and maybe once he has the team around him, he'll unlock another level where he's still being used as much, but it's just working better, right?
But that shows the difference between, because again, we talked about top 10 is really, really hard, and that shows the difference between a top 10 player, because a top 10 player can be a top 10 player no matter what.
A top 10 player is going out and just dropping 40, 50
Yeah,
while this is
exactly.
happening. You're seeing, Austin Reeves was dropping these 40, 50-point games with garbage players around him. Offense to Ayton. Just kidding.
Big time offense to Ayton.
But with bad team around him and scoring all those points. And Austin Reeves isn't top 10.
No.
And
Deni's better than Austin Reeves.
Yeah. But he's not scoring in that way, and it's just a long way to go for top 10. So.
Yeah. Not because Deni's not great, but just because top 10 is so
top 10 is hard.
Elite.
Yeah.
But at his peak, I think Deni will be a top 15 player.
Okay. Yeah.
Top 10 is definitely possible.
Yeah.
I'm positive he'll be a top 15 player. If this is the roster we're sticking with, and you had to make one trade involving
who?
Same guy.
Oh, same guy.
Same guy. We love Mamba 1-2-3-3.
We might need to make this. Had the questions.
We might need to make this a 2-part video. There's a lot of questions.
Well, just keep going.
If this is the roster we're sticking with, you had one trade to make involving Sharpe, Rupert, Murray, and Love. Which player or players would you target in a trade? I love that you said Sharpe because in our eyes, and it's harder to say this since we haven't seen Scoot in so long, we have a lot of belief in Scoot. We have a growing belief in Shaedon.
Yeah.
But we still think what a lot of people don't realize when you're making a big trade, you have to trade a guy that a lot of people will be upset to see go.
Yeah.
If we traded Shaedon, I would be freaked out that we just traded a potential future, great player.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about big trades, those are the risks you need to make. It's risks that our front office hasn't been willing to make. It's so funny. You see this you see this dichotomy, if you will, of Blazer fans being like, I hate that we're never involved in big trades, but also guys who are like, I don't ever want to trade Shaedon.
Why would we ever trade Shaedon?
If you want to make a big move, you have to take a risk.
Well, let me also say that to that question, what was it? Shaedon, Caleb, Rupert, Chris.
I love the non-Shaedon guys because I don't know how much other people.
I think Blazer fans are starting. Chris had a great game tonight. I think we see Chris's value. I don't think he has much value on the trade market.
Sadly, yeah.
So I think, truthfully, to boil it down your question, it's if we took Sharpe and some other filler, what could we get and who would we want?
I've been saying it for a year and a half now, but Trey Murphy's the guy.
Yeah, I don't think Shaedon is enough for Trey Murphy.
I think with a pick or two,
I think it would have to be two. They have a high asking prices from what I've seen.
That would be so nice, dude. If Deni had Trey Murphy to pass out to, and Trey Murphy is, I thought he was a better defender than what people are currently saying.
People are getting mad on him,
but he's better than Shaedon.
Yeah. So I guess I'll boil that into what we would hope to get. I think we've seen the vision of especially with Deni being able to run so much point, is a good shooter, lanky wing who can semi-handle the ball, do a little bit of everything, versatile on defense. I think that's the player we want. And I think essentially what we would be trading Shaedon for is a bit less self-creation and a bit more defense and shooting.
Yeah.
And honestly, with how this team looks right now, I don't know if that's the right call, because self-creation kind of is very minimal with especially who we're putting out there on the floor.
We were begging for Shaedon to get put back in that game earlier in the fourth.
Yeah, he went in with 3.5 minutes, and
it's what is going on? He should have been here. Yeah. I know he's on some sort of minutes restriction, but it was poorly managed.
Yeah, so in a way, I think that's what we want right now, but I do think ultimately we just want Shaedon to become that. And I think if someone else is willing to take that swing, that he could become that, and we can take someone who we know is that, like Trey Murphy, I think we'd be willing to do it. But I think the ultimate best case scenario is that Shaedon just turns into that, because I think that's just what we want, is Klingon with 4 awesome wings who can kind of handle the ball and play good defense and shoot.
And let me say this, a statement that I'm starting to think will never be true. On a fully healthy Blazers team, Drew Holiday, Trey Murphy, Deni Avdija, Tumani or Jeremy Grant. Tumani might need to come off the bench if we're fully healthy. Yeah. I hate to say that. And Klingon. Donovan Klingon. That is a 2-way team.
Yeah.
That has a legitimate 5 2-way players.
Yeah.
You see what make the Thunder successful. Honestly, the Thunder are a lot of 1-way players, defensive players, and they are the best team ever. Lost again in the Spurs.
They have defense and shooting, and it's just a great formula.
So Trey Murphy, I think, to us is the guy.
Yeah.
He's, other than that, I don't want Zion. I don't want Sabonis anymore. I don't want, obviously Giannis would be awesome, but of guys who are on the trade, I don't want Ja.
I don't want on-ball guys. I want
maybe LaMelo. I don't think so. Yeah, but
so that I think that Trey Murphy wing archetype is who we go for, and if we could trade Shaedon for it, we might, especially if it's the right player.
We'd probably want to do that.
Maybe the next one.
Mini Cooper 1432. What's up?
Mini Coop.
I recognize some of these usernames.
I do too.
That's awesome. What's up, dude? Hey guys, been loving the pod for a while now. If you could add, what a good question. If you could add one former Blazers role player to the current team, who would it be? I was thinking Gary Trent, nice, Jr., or Seth Curry for the shooting. Or maybe my GOAT, Trendon Watford, to help run the offense when Deni sits. Dude, I love real Blazer heads never have gotten over Trendon leaving.
Let me tell you, too, that just the 3 answers right there are... Let me know that you are a true Blazer fan.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been watching... intently for the last handful of seasons.
Especially the Seth Curry one, dude.
Seth Curry run in 2019.
He was awesome.
He was shooting like 45% from 3 for like a season.
Yes. I have an obvious answer.
Why don't you go first?
To me, I have it's my maybe second or third favorite Blazer of all time. Wes Matthews.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he would be... For a team that sometimes is missing a bit of a consistent, I guess, leader, emotional leader.
Grit.
Grit. That's the best.
Yeah.
Wes Matthews was the leader of that team. It was not LaMarcus. It was not Dame. It was Wes Matthews. It's why the 2000 Blazers were probably the third best Blazer team of all time. Right behind that was the LaMarcus and Dame and Wes. Wes was our second best player. At that point, I thought he was more valuable than Dame, just because he was the perfect role player. He's an amazing three-point shooter, had a killer step back. My friends will laugh when I say that, because I said that once when I was 14 and everyone laughed at me for some reason. Great defender, had an underrated post-up game, such a great emotional leader. He would be absolutely perfect for this team.
Yeah.
And any team. I love Wes Matthews.
Yeah. It's so hard for me not to pull from that 2014 team, because that was like the one. That was like the team that really felt like it was like the heart and soul of the Blazers. It was right in the prime of my childhood. It's really hard for me not to say Nicholas Batum. I want to say something different than what you said, but
especially in modern NBA. Because Batum, as much as we love Batum, was at times slightly underwhelming during that time period. Yeah. We always wanted to be more. But I think he was just like a couple years early, because you see how valuable he's the only guy on that team who's still playing.
Yeah. I think like high IQ, great defender,
does everything.
I think the high IQ part, man, I think is also what this team really needs. Just smart players. Like I don't mean to really belittle the guys and call them dumb, but like, damn, we go out there sometimes and we just do not like make creative passes. We turn the ball over in really dumb ways.
You start to understand what people mean. Not dumb, but you start to understand what people mean when they talk about basketball IQ.
IQ. And that's why I personally like CD Sissoko so much, because I feel like I can genuinely see that he's playing in a more unique, creative way than a lot of the guys are. I like when Deni does the flashy passes, but the turnovers and the I guess I don't know, the crying is the crying's not an IQ thing. I'm rambling at a certain point here, but Nicholas Batum would be a great add just for a smart presence and a great defender. You can always use those.
Absolutely, those are good answers. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. Like, I think back to those 2000s.
I'm trying to think of more like the niche ones.
Yeah, super.
It would be okay. Like, I love Mo Harkless. I think Mo Harkless would be like kind of like a Batum light, basically, in this sense. Rodney Hood, fourth overtime Rodney Hood.
Yes,
that would be really good.
I'm trying to think back like 90s, 2000s. Who was like. Oh man, Brian Grant would be amazing. Absolutely, like another guy who's just like, you're never gonna not fight when he's in the game.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, just like a true soul of the team. Yeah. Maybe is what we're missing.
Nice, dude. That's a great question.
Great question.
Next question is from Rory Gillen 3086. I'm gonna pretend like that's my first time reading that. Awesome name, but I did mess it up the first time I read it. Hey, so my question is, what you think Shaedon Sharpe will turn into? Because I remember you guys agreeing on a good 6-man, and even though I agreed at the time, I now think he could be a second option, like you said in this video, as we see the 3-point jumper start falling and his smarts going up.
Yeah, I think the past 5 games, ever since the Warriors game, this has been a different player than we've seen. And, like, you know, if you were someone who said, I know this was there all along, we're just waiting until the shots fell, like, props to you. I I'm changing my stance because I was someone who didn't really think that for a while, and I was in the I need to see it before I can believe it camp.
Exactly.
I haven't been fully converted.
Me neither.
To Shaedonism. Coining that right now.
Yeah. That's really
good. It needs to go for about 20 games.
Yeah.
For me to like really be like, okay, we can rely on Shaedon scoring 20 plus every single night. I still would really like to see some I'd love to see a 40-point game from Shaedon before I can go second option. Mm-hmm. Think of Jalen Williams in the finals for the Thunder.
I always think of that when I think about Shaedon.
That's
so funny.
Jalen Williams is the second option in the NBA right now.
I got a high five you really quick. I love because he'll say stuff and I'm like, wow. I'm glad that's my co-host because that's what I was thinking too.
Him dropping 40 points in the NBA finals.
That's what you need to see first is Shaedon Sharpe.
And then not in the NBA finals, but maybe on a Tuesday night game against the Mavericks, right? I need to see Shaedon not just keep us afloat, but win us a game.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I think I need. So, more than a 6-man, definitely right now. I totally see it now. A second, we kind of had this conversation earlier, but a second option, I need to see a ceiling raiser game, and or 20 games of what we've seen for the past 5 before I get that far. So I'm less on the 6-man train, but we've still got a ways to go before I go second option.
I think what you said is really important because we see Shaedon drop these 35-point games, which are awesome.
Yeah,
I thought his last one that was one of the most there's something to this guy games I've seen in a while. But I think a lot of people see that game as proof of a future first option when they don't realize true second options on finals teams drop 40 in the finals every now and then.
The second option wins you one game in a playoff series.
In a playoff series.
That's what they do.
And Jalen Williams and Shaedon have been playing, we're in the same draft class. It's the best comparison to make because we're seeing the best young second option in the NBA in Jalen Williams. So the question is, can he be like Jalen Williams? He's putting up these 35-point games, but second options on championship teams can drop 40 in NBA Finals games. Is he at that level yet? No, but for the first time in my time watching Shaedon, I can say actually, I was really high on Shaedon before this season and at the end of his rookie season. Very end of his rookie season. I loved his last 10 games of his rookie year. Yeah. For the first time, though, I see the vision. Because a month ago, I wasn't really seeing the vision. Not because even when he would put up 30-point games, I didn't think they were all-star. Because there's levels to it. You know what I mean? You can tell there's a difference in 30-point games. We've seen 30-point games from a lot of guys. It's how you do it. And Shaedon's now doing it in a way that I'm like, oh, okay. If I had to put my money on it, I would still say, if I had to bet on what Shaedon Sharpe will be, I would still be more likely to bet him being a great 6-man more so than being a great second option. But I definitely, for the first time, absolutely see the vision and absolutely see the possibility of him getting there. Because, again, he's 22. Yeah. He's so freaking young. He is, which doesn't excuse everything because he's been in the NBA for 4 years, but he's the same age as Dame was as a rookie. Yeah. So
it's true.
I see the possibility. Would I bet on it? Not yet, but I'm seeing the vision.
It's coming together.
Yeah. Next question from this guy sounds like a dork. Jeffrey. Do you want to give my last name?
You don't have to.
I'm not gonna.
Jeffrey C.
Do you give your last name ever on this?
I don't know. I think it's
got to be out there.
Yeah.
You could find it. Jeffrey C. 6892. My blood. My brother. Hey, Hey, Blazers are cool, guys. Long-time listener. First-time caller.
Wow.
He is right. He was in the 0.01% of viewers for the channel. That's love. That's
wrong. But he's wrong that he was the caller.
That's right. Yeah. First-time caller, yeah. My question is, if a group of people try to rob you outside of the McDonald's on 82nd and Foster, a McDonald's I've been to many a time. Who past and present on the team would you want to have your back in a fight? Does our team lack a true tough guy? I'll hang up and listen. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's my first time reading that. That's pretty good.
I saw this question And to give you time to think, my answer came to me pretty quickly.
What's that?
And it would be Donovan Clingan for the current.
Ooh!
Donovan Clingan, I think, is like the only one who's ready to actually fight people on this team. I don't think I would bring Deni. I think he would take a hit and look for the ref.
I want. That laugh is gonna ruin someone's eardrums. I apologize for that, but that's really funny. He takes a punch and outside of McDonald's.
Where is it?
He looks around. Yeah, that's so good.
So I think Clingan for the current for me.
What am I missing? I'm gonna look up this Blazers roster real quick.
I'll go. I think
you're right because he's
also huge.
He's humongous. He gets pissed.
He gets pissed. He's
got
to fight.
Fire.
He wants to fight. After watching this Magic game, I would definitely take Desmond Bane to help me out in the fight.
Yeah,
too,
dude, he's not afraid to
really wanting to wail. Maybe past, and this is
it's Donovan. Sorry, but you're right. It's Donovan.
Maybe in the past, and I'm just gonna go topical, but Damon Stoudemire, if you're listening, I would love to have you fight with me because the city of Portland loves you.
Yes.
And we see you as our protector.
Oh, 100%, dude.
So I would love to have you there in a fight. I think you could just break it up with words.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my gosh. I mean, he's next Blazer coach. He's my guy. We were at the game, the Pistons game. His speech to the crowd was awesome. He said in the press conference beforehand that the team didn't always feel loved from Portland, and to me, it's just like you're reading the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
Because, dude, he's my favorite player of all time. He's why I love basketball. Like, he's the first guy. I remember when I was 6 years old in art class, I would draw Damon Stoudemire shooting threes.
Yeah.
That would be he's the best. He's the greatest. I love Damon.
So for no other reason than if I'm in a fight and I get to bring Damon, then that means I get to meet Damon.
He's going to, take someone. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's how
What would happen in a fight is he would be able to kick his ass because Mighty Mouse was tough. But he would also, take the guy we're fighting under his wing and show him a brighter future.
Let's show how to not fight.
Exactly.
Good one from Jeff C.
My pick, though, would be... dude, there's a nutcase I'm forgetting. But Robin Lopez. Robin Lopez was underratedly nuts.
Yeah.
He was underratedly... You got the look in his eyes, which is like, oh, this guy's wild. And Brooke has the same shit, dude.
Yeah.
I think Robin Lopez, unequivocally... He could get mean. He would fight. He was ready to throw down. To me, it's Robin Lopez, without a doubt. But thank you, Jad. That's a good question. A next question from Uzi Neva 7069. What do you think about the Blazers? Thanks for commenting, by the way. What do you think about the Blazers game showing how Blazers can take care of business towards the end of the game? What a great, hilarious, timed question.
Yeah.
Because you're right. If you're just watching that Warriors game, you'd be like,
oh, they found something.
They found something. Based on the 4 games since then, here's
what I'll say is that I do think this team has something in it somewhere to get up off the mat and keep fighting, and it's got something that we've seen enough times. We've seen it in the Warriors game. We've seen it in the Thunder game. We've seen it in the Nuggets game. We've seen it in the fourth quarter of the Magic and the Pistons game. What you're asking about is there.
Yeah.
And it's bubbling under the surface. And I think there's something out there, whether it's coaching, whether it's just we're young and it's hard to do it enough times. There's something that's fully holding this team back. But when we do get to see that win, when we've done it against the Warriors a handful of times, when we did it against the Cavs, it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
And I think it truly starts with the defense. I think it's when our defense is clicking, everything gels in this team. And that's when the runs start. That's when we can finish games. Because we're not an incredible offensive team, but we should be a good defense team. So I think the formula to what you're seeing is defense, and I think it's there. Unfortunately for your question, we just had 4 pretty sketchy games in terms of end of game clutch.
Yeah, they asked you to be a sign of growth. I thought it was. I thought it was. So it's a great question because at the time I was like, this is where we're growing. But then we had 4 of the worst even with 2 wins, 4 of the worst
and
end of game performances.
Yeah.
I am much more. What I do think though is it shows that we are capable of being in any game, which is a sign of growth for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm still like after these last 4 games, I'm
baffled.
I'm a little baffled, but maybe this is what it takes to learn how to finish games. So we'll see going forward.
Good question.
Very good question.
Sorry that the Blazers kind of pooed your question.
Exactly. Get mad at them.
It's the Blazers' fault for
question.
the
Yeah.
question.
Last question.
Jonas
Gonsalves.
Yeah.
Jonas Gonsalves, 8974. So I think I struggle reading things in those spaces.
When it's one word, all lowercase. Yeah.
Hey guys, love the pod. Nice, thank you, dude. And can't wait till you guys are making Bill Simmons draft his worst Blazer takes on the Ringer. I love it.
Bill Simmons, sneaky Blazer fan, because he read the book that I read that I forget the name of, Breaks of the Game.
Oh yeah, of course.
He read that, and he has like a prologue in it that's like, this is the best sports book of all time.
I haven't read it.
It's
awesome.
You gotta read a good book. So Bill Simmons, sneaky Blazer fan.
Yeah, which I love it. Yeah, the time will come soon. I swear. Thank you, dude. You're the man. My question is: as a team starts to form an identity, I feel it is more and more odd that Cronin and I completely agree with you, dude. And Schmitz have taken Jan Hansen. I agree with you that it's too early to tell that he's a project player, but it seems odd to me that we pick a guy with high upside who doesn't really fit our team. I completely agree. I feel this, especially when Sam Presti kind of laid out how to go about the draft in the modern NBA. There's a blueprint for our team that there's no, and that is a blueprint for our team that there's no shame in mimicking. Also agree. My question would more so lies in the fact that I believe we need to look at the draft more than an average Blazer fan would like to admit to help our team now. That's a good point. But I'm loving this.
Yeah.
But I have some slight existential concerns in Cronin and Schmidt's draft strategy, as do I, in actual player selection. I was wondering if you feel the same or if I'm worrying too much. If there are any insights you have into the headspace of the front office. What do you think? What a nice, dude.
Very nice, eloquent question.
Yeah. Other than my dumbass brother's question. Okay, I'm joking.
Let me just preface everything by saying that I thought Hansen was better tonight.
Sure.
I thought he looked improved. I thought he gave us a little bit of a spark, and I like some of the stuff he's doing. Obviously, a lot of room still to grow, but I have liked from game to game more or less the slight improvements I'm seeing.
Though it is a problem because I thought it was the best game of his career so far.
Yeah.
But the best game of his career is putting up 4
points, 2, and still having 2 bad fouls and 2 blown.
Some rough defensive plays, but also a good one.
But
Swatted Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who do have that stuff. So
yeah.
So all of this being said, not giving up on Hansen in the slightest. I've been like trying to optimistically defend the 2 timeline scheme of Cronin and I guess Schmitz. Schmitz, we just kind of catch all everyone else. It's Cronin and Schmitz et al.
Yeah.
I've been like kind of defending it just because I think we honestly just kind of need positivity. Sure. But I like the thought process of just hoarding talent, best player available in the draft, make a trade that you think on paper is just better in a vacuum. Just get it all together and then hope that it can all sort itself out. The problem is that when you try and do that too much and your coach gets fired and wasn't that good all the time, and you draft a player that is not only just a rookie, but like 2 years away, and you're drafting a player, or you make a signing of a player who is missing a year and is going to come back next year, and then you try to sell the way of winning this year. It's just too many. Like, I understand it to a degree, but I do think that them putting their stake on Hansen is like really the climax of this entire grand plan that's like, do you really know what you're doing?
Sure.
And it sucks for Hansen in that regard. And I just don't know that if I can believe that what they were doing was genuinely thought out and they weren't just kind of blindly picking these things.
Yeah.
That was a little rambly.
I completely got everything you said. Yeah. Because where I am right now with him is it's not that Hansen's not going to be a good player. It's that we were the wrong team to draft him.
We're the wrong team.
Maybe I'll be wrong about that in 5 years. But in order for me to be wrong about that, that would mean that in my eyes, Klingon didn't work out, which I think he is already working out and is going to work out even more in the future. Because at this point, it's like best case scenario, he's a good backup. Meanwhile, we're looking at guys that we passed up on, like Coward. We're looking at like guys like Queen. Who else am I thinking of? Even like freaking Danny Wolf, dude.
That's the thing is like if what you wanted.
And Danny Wolf is Derek Queen is his age,
yeah.
So you can't really use the age thing with him. It's confusing. I don't know.
It's if you wanted a backup center, which I don't really mind. I don't mind getting a center who can move the ball more. Who it's like different than Klingon, who's just a total anchor on defense. I don't mind getting a second center for versatility. But if it felt like, and I said this to you before, it felt like one of them went to China, and they were like, "This young Hansen kid, he looks kind of good." And then it was like kind of like that, echo chamber thing of like, he's pretty good. I think he's pretty good. He's got to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And they just sat in this room, and it just kind of kept going and going. Because, again, no slander to Hansen, but even he didn't think he was going 16.
Exactly.
Right? So, like, I think a ton of people would have been like, you take him in the second round, it makes sense. And we're not hashing up anything groundbreaking or super new there. But I think what we're seeing over the course of this season is that, like, with how this team was constructed, one, injury-wise, like, Dame's not going to play. Jeremy has injury problems. Drew has injury problems. Matisse has injury problems. Rob has injury problems. Unfortunately, Scoot tore his hamstring, but he's not been a bill of health. Neither has Shaedon, really. We have this team, this fragile team, and then you draft a guy who is a third string at best rookie project who's going to take a ton of time. You're just missing on another spot on the team that could be filled by a guy like Cedric Coward who's going to play every single night and be efficient and shoot well and play good defense. Like, that was there for the taking. It felt like Hansen, unfortunately, was the tipping point to where I have to go back and be like, if this doesn't work out within the next 2 years, this was like a career-defining, being oblivious to the team and trying to do something too outlandish. Like it's the bridge too far. It's the straw that broke the camel's back. I was fine with a lot of stuff before, but now all this pressure's on Hansen, in a similar way that it is with Derek Queen, and he's delivering, right?
Yeah, at the same age, at the same position, at the same similar style of play.
Yeah.
And again, we'll say it again, I'm not mad at Hansen. I'm not doubting that he has the ability to be a good player, but we drafted a guy who needs to play in a slow-paced offense when we're the fastest-paced offense in the team, and we drafted, and there's nothing wrong with having as many good bigs as possible.
Yeah.
I'm not against that, but you only want that if every single hole in your team has been filled.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you go to, like, having too much of a good thing, when everything else has kind of been filled up.
It's when you take Jokic with the 43rd pick, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's
the kind of pick you take late in the first round, early in the second round. Supposedly the Nets wanted him a couple picks later, so.
But if they got him, we could have. I don't know. It's they're all things we've heard, but
for him to work on this team, we would have, like I said, Klingon would have to not work out, and we would have to completely change our style of play.
For him to work out in the way that they picture him working out for the risk to take him at 16B.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Like,
yes.
For him to be that ceiling, that ultimate, like, we're going to take the big swing. For the big swing to work out for Cronin and co, he would have to eclipse Klingon, and it's so hard to see that right now.
But what Jonas is really asking is, like, does this, is he worried too much about questioning the front office? And I would say no. I don't think the front office has really had. We've made some good moves for sure. We've made some fine picks. We've not made that home run pick yet where you can be like, oh, we got that guy. Every single pick, I don't think we have yet to get the best player from the draft at the pick that we've had.
For sure.
Not with Scoot, not with Shaedon.
Yeah.
Not with Hansen.
I think Klingon
I guess with
Klingon
Chris Murray.
Klingon was...
Like, honestly?
I got 23.
Yeah.
A lot of people would disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I just think it's been like, don't look at the team. Look at best player in a vacuum. Make the high upside move.
Yeah.
And I think they went one step too far at a time when we needed to draft a bit more safe and for need. And I think Cedric Howard filled that pretty perfectly, so it kind of stings.
You're 100% right. It seems like they are not making picks in terms of, and honestly, you could say that a similar thing for the Scoot pick. We had Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A guy who still that time wanted to play on the team. We did the same thing, and I'm a big Scoot believer, but we drafted a guy who again was like kind of the high upside pick, even though Scoot had a high floor too at the time.
Well, yeah.
Still
So
does.
so let me say with Scoot is that we didn't. I think we were ecstatic when Brandon Miller went second and everyone got Scoot. I don't think anyone was not believing.
I actually wanted Brandon Miller at the time.
A lot of people wanted.
I wanted Brandon Miller and I wanted Ahmed, and then Scoot was my third.
Okay, that's interesting. And
it went Brandon, Ahmed, and Scoot. That was mine at the time.
Oh, because it would have stayed with Dame. Because Dame would have stayed.
No, I thought I liked them better.
I
thought actually, but yeah, I know you're right because I wanted a wing.
Because you wanted a wing that fit with Dame.
True.
Everyone was like, that was kind of what it was. And so I think that one, in the same regard, it's like,
Jonas, you've set us off on it.
Yeah, you got the real,
love.
the
this
real,
is awesome.
The real,
this is raw right now.
Final question. So, Scoot was them basically sitting like in the room and being like, Scoot is so good, we gotta just take him and push Dame out. And then they look at Shaedon Sharpe and they go, this kid hasn't played a lick of basketball in 2 years. But the upside's so high. But he can jump so fucking high. We just got to take him.
Yeah.
And he kind of fit with what we had going on, and it makes sense. Klingon, I think, was just like, Klingon.
Klingon was an awesome pick.
Yeah. They're like...
But also fell to us.
Klingon was like, oh my God, Klingon fell to 7. We have to take him. That was like no-brainer, and I think everyone understood that. And then Hansen, again, was like, this guy's got some moves in China. Like, he's fucking awesome. Like, we gotta take him. We'll trade back once, but we won't trade back more than that because we love this guy. Like, we just love this guy. So it seems like maybe they're just, like, getting a little too... In the draft process, they're just in there like, dude, man, this guy's the man. We gotta get him. We gotta get him. Like, so they're doing whatever they can just to buy into these guys, and I get it. Like,
they pick good players, but they don't pick the right players for the team. And I think that's where my concern. I think that's kind of what you're saying too.
Yeah, I think they were okay to be doing that during around the Shaedon. I mean, Shaedon went first actually. Shaedon was drafted before Scoot. I went that wrong order, right? Yeah, totally. So they got Shaedon high upside. Dame was still around.
Shaedon's the longest tenured player on the team now.
Yeah, that's right.
That's so nuts.
Yeah. I don't know. I think to answer your question bluntly, yes, you can totally be concerned.
Yeah.
And I think my answer to you would be, I think before this Hansen pick, which I think is kind of what you're trying to say too. I think before this Hansen pick, there was a lot of ways to do a lot of justification.
Sure.
But then when they did the Hansen pick and traded for Drew Holiday and signed Dame and went win now, that was like, okay, now I don't really see it.
100%. I'm at the point with Cronin and Schmitz where it's like, because before I didn't want to get rid of him because the expectation is that Dundon's going to come in and clean house because that's what new owners usually do.
Yeah.
I didn't want that to happen a year ago because I knew we'd be getting a new owner. I like Schmitz. I like Cronin for the most part. And I just like, as a Blazer fan, we've had so much change and turmoil. I just wanted something to stay the same.
Yeah, right.
Now it's to the point where if he comes in and fires them, I'll say, okay. I won't be upset. I won't be super happy. But I'd be like, they haven't done as bad as they could, but they haven't done as good as they could. So if he wants to bring in someone else, it's their guy. go for it.
Yeah.
And because I expect that to happen. So if you're concerned, I'm assuming you won't have to be concerned for that much longer.
Yeah.
I'm concerned a little bit. I no longer am fully confident in these guys, even though it's hard to say that because you also have gotten Deni. We got Tumani. But also Tumani, dude. You could have drafted Tumani.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you really liked him that much.
Yeah, because I think he was taken in the Rupert draft.
Yeah, we drafted Rupert instead of Tumani.
And did you hear the story behind Rupert? We loved Rupert.
Oh, yeah.
Rupert was...
It was your first viral tweet.
Yeah, Rupert, yes, I remember that. Rupert was going to go to another year of French basketball.
C'est vrai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike Schmitz and it was just the Blazers loved Rupert so much that they said, don't do that. We will draft
We'll give you guaranteed money.
No one else wanted him. We will pick you up, and that's what they did. So I think they've just been kind of enamored with. They've just been gung ho. They're like, I'm Joe Cronin. I have no GM experience. I just worked my way through the ranks. Let's just get my boy Mike Schmitz. Let's just go fire off high end draft picks and hope it works out. And there's talent, but it's just like, I mean, without a good coach for the past 5 years, it's been just a mosh of different styles, like skills, ups, downs. Like
my take on Mike Schmidt has always been kind of the same. You know, like this is not me saying he's not good because I'm meh on him, but he's a lot of huge fans, like guys who really believe in him, and people think he's like kind of like a draft genius guru. The reason I think a lot of people think that is because his takes are all out there. I promise you that the majority of draft guys who are employed by teams were hired with a really good success record. It just wasn't written for ESPN for everyone to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like teams aren't most teams, obviously some are not hiring guys with horrible track records. They're hiring guys that they know have good track records. It's just not in the way that's for public reading like Mike Schmitz was. I don't think Schmitz is a genius. I think he just has stuff that you can read online so you can be like, oh, look, he said that. If every GM and every scout guy, every draft guy had that, you could probably say the same about all.
If Sam Presti was on ESPN and we got to read back all of his stuff, it'd be like, oh my God, he just predicted the draft.
Predicted the entire NBA.
Yeah. He's literally God.
Yeah.
Well, that's all our questions.
Great questions.
Really, really good ones. Seriously. Yeah. I mean, you guys, we had a ton of fun reading these. I
had a blast. That was awesome.
We'll do it again.
Keep subscribing so we can do this as a live stream. Because I think this is kind of it.
This is where we need like just questions coming in and we go. But I mean, as you guys can tell, we're trying our best out here to just keep pumping new types of content, doing it while we're on the road, going to Blazer games.
You're on the road.
I'm on the road. We're actually in Brad's
house. We're actually both at home. Yeah.
But
we're both at home though.
Yeah, but we appreciate you guys. We hope you're having a happy holidays. Hope you have a great Christmas Eve and Christmas if you celebrate it.
The holidays are cool. It's our new pod.
We're coming out with sweet treats are cool.
We need a lot of Christmas sweet treats.
Yeah. But again, thank you guys for commenting. Please subscribe if you are listening to this and you have not yet. It would mean a lot to us. Give us a like. And we'll see you next time when hopefully the Blazers win a goddamn game at home.
I want them to show us how cool they are.
Hey, please.
They're still cool.
Please.
But they're making it harder.
They made it really hard tonight.
Yeah.
Ugh, that hurt. We love you guys.
Love you.
Take care.